Alright, hello my favorite people. Today we're going to be reacting to the British education system and like the different levels of it. Now I'm not going to lie, I know you guys have explained in my comment section before, but I don't read those long freaking paragraphs, I'm sorry to say. So today we're going to be reacting to British education system, Britain Explained by Eat Sleep Dream English. I'm sure he's going to talk about all the different levels from sixth form, the GCSE, the exam y'all were talking about, college versus university, and all that stuff. So let's get into it. I hope you liked the video. Make sure you subscribe. You guys have been asking me to react to Educating Yorkshire, Wessex, all that stuff. But copyright. I know it will get blocked because Channel 4 hates me. So I don't think I can do that, but I can do content like this. So that being said, here we go. DM me video requests over on Instagram, by the way.
It's my brand new series, Britain Explained, where I'll guide you through different aspects of British culture.
Oh. Excuse you. Are you alright?
Today we're looking at the British education system, and I'm going to show you how this country learns. So if you're ready, let's do this.
Let's do it! Alright.
Let me before, my name is Tom, and I teach fresh, modern British English so that you can take your English to the next level and achieve your life goals. Today we're looking at the British education system, and I'm going to break down how it works in 15 steps. So let's get to number one. The first thing to note is that education is compulsory from the ages of 5 to 16. That means that everybody in the country has to go to school. In 1988,
for us, it's from 5 to 18. I should tell you our education system. Pre-K, kindergarten, elementary school, middle school, high school, college, and college is the same as university. So you have 6 different levels.
National curriculum was introduced. The national curriculum is a framework for learning. It was brought in to standardize learning across the country so that all students were learning the same things. In Britain, we have 2 main types of schools. We have state schools and private schools or independent schools. A state school is a school that's free. It's open to everybody. It's government funded and you don't have to pay. So
okay, we have that too, but we call it public. Okay, so we have some similarities so far.
It's for anybody to attend. Now the other type of school is a private school or independent school. These are fee-paying schools, so students are expected to pay fees per term, and they don't have to follow the national curriculum so strictly.
I was just about to say that. Okay, so what's the point of going to a private school if you have a national, curriculum? Everyone's learning the same stuff, except some people are doing it for free. So the private schools then, if they don't have to follow the national level, shouldn't they be easier then? Are private schools easier for y'all? Let me know.
State school, they have to follow the national curriculum. In addition to private schools or independent schools, we also have public schools. These are a group of schools that are the most expensive, the most elite, if you will. For example, we've got Eton, Harrow, Cheltenham Ladies College. These are the kinds of schools that royalty go to. For example, Prince Harry and Prince William both went to Eton.
Well, that's different. Our public schools are the free ones, and our private schools are the ones you have to pay for. So y'all have 3 different styles, and 2 styles you have to pay for. Okay, so maybe then what y'all call public, we would call like our charter schools, or the ones that you go to for a specific career, or the ones you go to for sports, where it doesn't really matter the academics, you're just there to train. Maybe that's what he was talking about. I don't know. That's weird, public schools for y'all.
So it sounds like they should be free, right? Public school, but in fact, it's the opposite. So when we're 5 years old, we go to primary school. Primary school is the first school you'll go to. It's from 5 to 11 years old. In America, they would call primary school elementary school.
That's what? Primary school. Okay, elementary school. From 5. No 5th graders going to elementary school, though. Or 5-year-old. So what's y'all's pre-K and kindergarten? Nursery. I'm pretty sure that's what you call it. Interesting. I don't know.
But here, primary school. Now when you get to 11, that's when you go to secondary school. Secondary school. Secondary school is from 11 to 16 or sometimes 18 as well.
So then y'all combine middle school and high school, and you just call it secondary school. So the block for us that is middle school to high school is oh God. Can you, thinking back to high school for me, can I imagine going to school with freaking middle schoolers? I bet y'all get annoyed with the younger people, because it's like 2 completely different, like, stage developments emotionally, mentally, physically. The locker rooms are probably atrocious for the younger kids. That's so sad. Oh, man.
They call that a high school, but
Yeah.
here, secondary
High
school.
school.
In most places in Britain, you go to a comprehensive school, which is open to everybody. But in some places, we still use the system of grammar schools and secondary modern. Now, a grammar school...
Wait, this part's kind of confusing. So these are types of secondary schools that he's talking about, I believe. Grammar schools.
Generally more academic, whereas a secondary modern is more vocational. When you finish primary school, you'll take an exam called the 11+, and that will decide if you go to a grammar school or a secondary modern.
So it's freaking like divergent. Where do you fit in? Are you going academic route or are you going to go this route? So everyone's kind of like naturally, their career forms are kind of determined for them based on different tests, is what I'm getting from that. Like, before you can enter high school, you take a test to see what kind of high school you go to. Interesting. But that would also be sad, because what if you and your friends go to different schools? Aw.
As I say, this is only in some areas in Britain. Generally, certainly in London, where I live, we have comprehensive schools, which is just for everybody. I know, it's getting a bit complicated, but
yeah.
Stick with me. So,
yeah, that last part is kind of just unnecessary, I feel like. 3 different types of schooling for kids going from 16 years old up, I think. It's a bit extra, I feel like.
Secondary schools, you have comprehensive schools, or if you're in some areas, grammar school or secondary modern. Now, when you get to 16, that's when you do your first big exams. We call these GCSEs, General Certificate of Secondary Education. Generally, you take about 9 subjects. You have to take English, you have to take maths, and I think science in some places.
We call that the core courses.
And then you get to choose. So, for example, I chose geography, history, French, things like that. It's graded from A star is the top to A, B, C, and so on. I remember getting 1A. I got 1A. The rest, B's.
Okay. Thinking back, we did the A, B, C, D scoring too, but I don't think that actually started until like high school. I don't think elementary... Well, were we? On your report card... Yeah, actually we've had the A through F from the very beginning. Everyone gets a report card in elementary school and middle school, and it doesn't actually start to matter though until like high school, what grade you have. But that's interesting, the GCSES. It's like an exam, it's like a state exam to determine if you're ready for the next level.
I was happy with. At 16, you then get to choose if you want to continue with school or leave school and maybe start a job or do something else.
At 16? At 16 here, you're just entering high school. You just finished your freshman year. You still have at least 3 years to go, and then college if you want to. You don't get to... Well, then again, y'all's adult. You consider your adult at the age of 16. We consider yourself an adult when you're 18. And at 18, you should be a senior in high school, which then you can decide. So I guess it does make sense, because again, you're an adult when you're 16. For y'all.
So between the ages of 16 and 18, we have something called sixth form.
Sixth form.
These are the top 2 years of the school. You have the lower sixth, and then you go to the upper sixth. That's the highest class at school. In sixth...
So many different levels. Why so many, honestly? Like, who decided this breakdown? For 2 years, you call it sixth form. Couldn't you just have a whole block, you know? It's a lot. A-levels. Is it confusing to y'all? I'm sure not, because you have to live it, but... From an outsider's perspective, it's a lot of steps. A-levels, let's see.
You do something called A-levels. Now, if you study for 2 years, you'll get an A-level. If you study for 1 year, you'll get an AS level. Generally, you do about 3 or 4 A-levels. I remember I think I did 4 A-levels.
So, 2 years for 1 A-level. If he did 4, he was in school for an extra 8 years? The heck? Does that count for college and university? Because at that point, you're like in your mid-20s.
You can get A stars, A's, B's, C's, etc. That's how it's graded. In Scotland, they don't do A-levels. They do something called Highers. Now, this age between 16 and 18, you can choose to stay in your secondary school, but we also have something called a college, or a sixth form college, as it's also known, where you can go and study your A-levels. This can get a bit confusing because I know in America, colleges are what we call universities, but our word college has a few other meanings. In this case, the sixth form college is for 16 to 18-year-olds.
Okay, for a second I thought he was talking about dual credit. And dual credit to us is like, you can be in high school but take college or university classes through your high school. So you're getting college university credits. Like, you'll be entering university with already credits to your, like, academic account, but you're still in high school taking those courses. So I thought that's what he was talking about. The mix between sixth form and college is getting dual credit. But I think he just said it's something different, so I don't really understand, to be honest.
Some colleges that follow the International Baccalaureate system, the IB system, and in some places you can choose to follow that system rather than the A-level system. If you're not interested in doing academic subjects, then you can do vocational subjects. We have something called a BTEC, or an NVQ, or apprenticeships, and you could do subjects like plumbing or carpentry.
Yeah.
Things like that. Perhaps more practical skills that lead into a job.
Honestly, that's a good option, because not everybody cares about academics or wants, you know, to do a job that has to do with academics. So if starting from the age of 16, if you're able to just become an expert in whatever career field you want to go into and get that education for free, that's great. So again, just like y'all's free university, you get free training for a potential job. I would like that. Over here, you would have to pay for something like that, again, through a charter school or a private school to get, like, specific training. That's nice. Faith schools, I'm assuming that's a religious school.
There are a number of faith schools. These are schools that are connected to a religion.
Yeah.
The majority are Church of England schools, but there are also schools from other religions like Catholicism, Islam, Judaism, and this is where they follow the national curriculum, but they also are associated and teach the practices of these religions.
Now we also have schools like that, but for instance, I went to school for 1 year and it was a private school, but it was a private Catholic school. So it was a regular college or university, but it also had religious freaking classes mixed into the curriculum. So you had to take both the core classes, math, science, history, all that kind of stuff, but you also had to learn about the religion and learn about the freaking Bible. I had to pay to learn about the Bible. Ridiculous.
To pass their A-levels, then go on to university. Now, at university in Britain, we do one subject. We take one core subject. So again, it could be English, it could be data science, it could be...
we take all 5 at the same time. Math, science, English, history, and then you have an elective or something. You guys are lucky. Had to focus on one thing. We had to freaking multitask. Oh, man.
We do one main subject, and a bachelor's degree or an undergraduate degree takes 3 years. However, in Scotland, they do a 4-year degree.
We do 4 years too. You have to have 4 years to get a bachelor's. 3 years, just an extra year.
End of your course, you take something called your finals. Your finals. These are your exams at the end to see what grade you get. Now,
so is he talking about the end of your complete academic career, like after the 3 years, 4 years for Scotland? Or is he talking about after every semester? Because we have finals every semester. So you have, for a semester, do I have to explain what a semester is? So from August to December is one semester, that's the fall semester. And in December, you have to take your final exams. And then from January to like June is another semester, the spring semester. And in June, you take your final exams. So you have, for one academic year, you have 2 sets of finals, basically. And also, I should note that I'm pretty sure, I haven't been in school for like a year, so I may be wrong, but after each semester, you take new classes. So fall, you have like English 1, and then spring, you have English 2. So it changes.
Our grading system goes from a first, which is the top, then you get a 2-1, a 2-2, and then a third. If you're in your first year of university, you're called a fresher. And in fact, the first week of university is known as your Freshers' Week. Freshers' Week.
Freshman, fresher, freshman, same thing.
Then you become a second year, and when...
We call that a sophomore, third would be junior, fourth is senior. But y'all just call it the number.
In your third year, you're in your final year. Now, there are a group of elite universities, places like Oxford, Cambridge, Bristol, Edinburgh, and they are known as red brick universities. Red brick universities. They're the old traditional universities. Kind of similar to, in America, they've got Ivy League schools. Here, we call them red brick universities.
Is it because they're built with red bricks? But Oxford was like, if I remember, I've seen it in the movies, it's just a bunch of like arches and stuff and like medieval buildings. It's tan, it's not red. Where does red brick come from?
University is also shortened down to uni. So when I'm talking about universities, I'll say, oh, you know, which uni did you go to?
Uni
means which university did you go to?
Uni.
It's also common for people to do a master's, which is considered to be a postgraduate degree.
Yes.
You could do a master's, which is usually 1 or 2 years, and then of course a PhD if you want to continue with your studies. Right, EC Dreamers, what I'd like you to do is in the comments below, I'd like you to share.
Alright, I think that's the end of this video. But yeah, a lot of similarities, but a lot of differences too. Let me know what other key things y'all notice about the video, or if there's anything I mentioned that you think is very odd. There were a lot of things about y'all that I found odd, so yeah, let me know down below. Like the video, subscribe if you're new here, and bye!